Jeremy's been kind enough to come and talk to us. A lot of us have YouTube channels. A lot of us have questions. I think Jeremy's been through all of it. And I told this story a minute ago, but I'll tell it again here. When I first met Jeremy, I had, what, 350 subscribers. I went to Reno just to hang out with him and the Hawaiians. And we had lunch, and he said to me, what do you want your channel to be about? Who are you? And I didn't have an answer. I was like, I don't know. You know, I don't know if I want to be a strategy. He's like, you want to be a strategy guy? I'm like, no, because you're already a strategy guy. There's already channels doing that. And it took me, I really had to sit back and think about what did I want my channel to be, and who did I want what is my why, kind of a thing. So that set me off on the path that I went down. Thank you, because it's worked for me, because I'm kind of carving my own little weird niche there. But I think everybody here who has channels has questions. And I'm sure the guys online have got a lot of questions too. So you know you have something prepared. Okay. And we can do some Q&A. But yeah, just talk to us about the YouTuber life. And I think you have another announcement to make, right? Or kind of. You can remake the announcement, I guess.
I don't have any announcement.
Well, you quit, didn't you?
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, supposedly I'm going to become a full-time YouTuber. We'll see how that works out. But yeah,
and that's the first lesson, clickbait.
That's the plan, right. Clickbait is the first. We'll get to that later. I did, it's not like I prepared it. I just have some notes, and they're probably all out of order, so it might work with questions and different things. But I guess I'll start off by, I don't know if this will be encouraging or discouraging from you, but I want to let you know, some of you, my journey of when I started. So when I started, there were a few craps channels around. For the first 2 months, I posted twice a week, and then the second month I posted one a week. So I don't know how many videos that is. But after 2 months, I had a total of 6 subscribers and 240 views. So I don't know, some of you guys start off much quicker than that. But so I put in 2 months of working and I had 6 subscribers. After 8 months, I had 634 subscribers. So I'm working my way up, but this is 8 months of constantly putting out stuff, right? And after that 8 months, YouTube was a little different. Now you have to have 1,000 minimum or something to get paid by YouTube, right? So I actually did get paid my first time after 8 months. I got paid 75 cents. So, but they don't pay you out until you reach a $100 minimum threshold. So it was like months later. I think it was, I don't know, month 15 where they finally got a check sent for $100. So just to let you know, I mean, I'm just saying that I'm a big channel now, but everyone starts at 0, right? And it takes some work and it takes some time. So don't get discouraged whenever, you know, I'm multiple months in and I got 6 subscribers, right? It's just how the nature of it is. So kind of what I told John is, what is your goal? What do you want your channel to look like? Who are you? We're all different. We all have different characteristics or things that we're good at or whatever, but you have to be kind of unique. You're not going to probably do well copycatting somebody. You can get by with a little bit, but yeah, going along those lines of what do you want to be known for? Because what you put out there is what people are going to be attracted to. So everyone's doing different things. He's kind of reaching the young people, right? So he's putting that out there, and that's what he's attracting. It's just, and it's working, right? He's got. I'm like, what do we say our stats were? I'm like 99% old dudes, right? It's like that's my demographic. So yeah, it's like 50 plus, exactly. 99%, and then the 1% of the ladies here, right? Let's see. Before I get to some questions, I want to cover a few more things. Is this all right? I'm just going to speed through some of these things. When you're making videos, I kind of think of it as 3 different types of videos, or three like buckets. I don't know why I call them buckets, but basically 3 types. You kind of got your growth videos, which is just what it means. They're videos to, okay, let me back up and say, it depends what you want your channel to be. If you just want it to be your small community of 300 people or whatever it is, that's great, right? You don't have to worry about growth. Some people don't care. They're doing it for fun or whatever. I'm kind of coming at from the aspect of growth, because even if you are doing it for fun, you're putting your passion and work to it. There's no sense of doing it for 0 people, right? Otherwise, why would you do it? So you do want to grow to a degree. But I think of it as 3 types of videos. One would be growth type videos. One would be community type videos, and one would be experimental type videos. So growth videos, at least for my channel, this is where like the clickbait comes into. You're attracting outsiders. I'm a gambling channel. I'm attracting casual gamblers. So I want to draw those people in. So how to win $1 million, the best strategy ever, the best way to win, whatever. These are going to be things that trigger outsiders or casual people to come check out your stuff and then potentially grow, right? I have community videos. So those would be like my club members have tournaments. Nobody wants to watch those. So sadly, those are just for my community, but those are important, right? You got to have those videos for your established base or established community. Calculating the house edge, right, on a bet. That's not for a casual viewer, that's for my hardcore community. So that's kind of the second video, is a video for your people. The first one is growth, and then the last one is experimental. And what I mean by experimental is YouTube's real funny. You put out 10 videos, they feel like they're the same, and one of them goes bigger than the others, right? You have 200 views on 9 videos and one has 1,000 for some reason, and you have no idea. And there is not really a good answer for that. But you do want to try to take chances of that. So you're making the growth videos, the things that you know are bringing in subscribers. You're making the videos for your community, and then the last thing would be every once in a while try to make a video that you think is viral, right? So I've tried a few. I did a cinematic craps video with all these cool angles, all these things. Didn't do anything, right? But I took a shot. I did a video where I had little dolls, elves playing craps. I thought, oh, this will go viral, this will be big. It failed, right? But I'm taking a shot. I did a video about street dice, right? So took it out of the casino thing and threw dice up against a little brick wall. And I thought, well, this is a good idea. It could go viral. It actually did, right? It went really big. And it was just taking a chance. I did another one, learn craps in 4 minutes. You can't learn craps in 4 minutes. But I thought, well, if I can condense it down, that could be like a viral thing. And it did good. So I would say take chances every once in a while. For me, I know when I put out a video, how it's going to do. Because if I put out I call them like get rich quick scheme video, where it's like, win 1,000 with only $10. I know that's going to do really well as far as numbers. If I put out a hardcore informational video, I know that's for my community. I know it's not going to get the numbers, but it's still important for my channel. And then I'll try to do a crazy idea, you know, the things that you think up in the shower idea video, and sometimes they bomb and sometimes they do good. So I would challenge you to try doing these 3 different types of videos. And I feel like I've been talking so much, so maybe question and I can go to some more stuff.
So Victor has a question online. He said, should you use TNA in your thumbnails?
Okay, well,
Chris.
Yes.
I have an answer for you.
Expert at that.
Brian Craftsman says, hey Jeremy, the ones that really stink, do you pull those ones down or you just keep them up?
Just keep them up.
Wait, what about the TNA?
I got an answer for that.
You're not skip by that one. Because I'm looking pretty good.
Let me talk about thumbnails in general. We'll jump down to thumbnails. I have a little something about titles and thumbnails. So thumbnail and title is how people click your video. So if you want to view the very first entryway, doorway to get that view, no matter how amazing your video is or how crappy your video is, that first step is for them to click on it. So it's going to take the title and the thumbnail. With the thumbnail, I'll talk about that in a second, but can you summarize what happens in your video in a thumbnail? And this kind of goes to the TNA question of, we think of a strategy like, hopefully that no one has this, and I'm not offending anyone. I wrote down the fire engine ladder strategy. And you make a thumbnail that is a fireman carrying a ladder. So when people are scrolling through, there's a fireman carrying a ladder. What is that video about? What is this perception?
put out
I don't know, firemen, ladders. It ain't about craps, right? So you can have something that's attractive. People don't know what it's about. They don't know what the video is about. Is this an advertisement for something? Is this about girls? His community, your community might know what it is. So if it's, you know, you have a graphic about that has something to do with your strategy name or whatever, your community will know, but not the casual viewers. They don't know this is about craps. They're looking for something about craps. So almost all my videos, they have a felt in the background, or they have dice. Every once in a while I'll experiment. And again, that's an important aspect, but they've got to be able to scroll through and go, oh, that's about this topic. They're on YouTube. Usually some people are random, but usually it's topic based. So if your thumbnail, as attractive as it might be, has nothing to do with dice or the topic or whatever your channel's about, they'll just keep going. That's not for them. They're looking for something about dice. So that's what I would say about that. I would say sometimes we try to get too creative, and again, experimenting is good, but it's kind of key to keep it simple. If it's about craps, maybe it should somehow show craps is involved in your video, right? Tell this story of what the video is about. And sometimes we think, well, my video, it's so repetitive, every single thumbnail is like the same. And to a degree it is, but I will bring up another aspect about them being the same. They do take work, and you don't want to be lazy. And I don't want to offend anybody, but let's say we do sometimes we do series or whatever. I personally don't as much, but a series is a particular graphic, and you have this red stripe, and it says episode 1, version 1, whatever, and then but the it's the exact same thumbnail, and you go to someone's page and you'll see 10 of those videos exactly the same, but the wording across that red banner is different. So you as a creator, like, I worked hard on these videos, I know they're all different. This video is this video is this, these are very different videos. But the viewer, he's scrolling through, it's the same video. To him, he's not maybe reading that one little adjustment. He's like, same video, I've already seen it, I'll just keep going. I want something new. So, yeah, when you're seeing those exact things, and we kind of create templates, right? But you got to be very careful with that, because you know it's different, but the viewer has no idea. So for him, it's the same video, he's already seen it, he's moving on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about, Jeremy, I have a question on that exact topic. So there are two YouTubers in particular, and you all know who I'm talking about when I say this, who don't ever put thumbnails out. It's just a craps table. It's whatever they were doing at the last minute they filmed their videos. Waylon and Jacob.
Okay.
No thumbnails ever. Their videos go gangbusters all the time. Is it purely content, or is it the title, or what? Because we do work hard. I know Chris works hard. I work hard on titles and the thumbnails, and I'm like, dang, you know, it's like I could just put a picture of my table out there and do the same thing.
Does it do gangbusters for them or for their community?
Don't know the answer to that. I'm
Right,
looking
so-
at views. I'm looking at just views in general. His channel's growing crazy, and I'm like, it's interesting. He has no thumbnails, decent titles, great content. Is it just the content? It's just content is king kind of a thing.
Well, I mean, bottom line, YouTube will recommend a video not based on comments. That was an old algorithm, not based on likes or thumbs up. I mean, you can ask for those, but it doesn't do anything anymore. It is literally how long do people watch your video. That's the only thing that matters to YouTube. You have to have audience retention. A good number is if you can get them to watch 50% of your video. It's very difficult, but if they're watching 50% of your video, YouTube goes, that's a good video, I'm gonna push it to 100 people. Those next 100 people, they watch 50%, okay, let's try pushing it to 1,000. YouTube pushes out in steps, right? So as far as some things you'll see people, I mean, massive YouTubers, they don't do the thumbnails too, and you're like, why does it work? I don't have an answer for that. I can tell you, I talked to this one YouTube guy, and he said, you know how if you upload a video, they'll suggest like, oh, these are 4 thumbnails? Yeah. Some people are better off just leaving what YouTube suggests versus you making your own. And hopefully you can make your own that's better than that suggestion, but in some cases it's not. and YouTube is saying this is probably your best option for a thumbnail. So if you're really bad at it, I don't know how to balance you working hard at it. Again, I'd have to look at it, look at their numbers. When you say gangbusters, if he's got, I don't know, 1,000 subscribers and he's getting 1,500 views, to me that's not gangbusters.
No, really.
No.
To me, I'm looking at that as going, that's 90% of my audience is watching the video.
Right,
Versus
90% of your
a third,
audience.
yeah.
But remember, we're not after our audience. That's a community video and a thumbnail for community. I want a video where I have 5,000 subscribers and the thumbnail brings in 50,000 views, right? Because I do it all the time.
Interesting.
And why, I don't know. I try different things or whatever, but
Because my videos are like literally 80% of my views are from subscribers.
right.
Like I'm getting nothing new.
But I mean, I know your channel. You that's what you put out there. You put out very analytical stuff. You cater to your particular audience, right? So if you wanted to grow, you need to put out more general stuff, more things that might attract them. But again, you might attract them with one, and then they find your video is not really made for them. It's made for a community, right?
Sure.
For various people that are wanting to see your stuff.
Does that go
More
to short
consistent.
versus long? Because he tends to put up videos that are like 10
18
minutes long.
minutes.
yeah, they're very short.
It's 7 minutes long. So
Yep.
people are watching,
Well-
like as you said, a greater portion of his videos, so
Yeah.
it gets recommended more than.
Well, yeah,
The
it goes
3-hour
to
video
percentage,
they put out
right?
for a live.
So if you make if you can make a 20-minute video and get people to watch 11 minutes, that's amazing. If you make a 20-minute video and they only watch 2 minutes, you're in trouble. So in that case, you would be much better off making a 3-minute video that people watch 2 minutes. So the length of the video, I can tell you at 8 minutes is where YouTube allows you to have an ad in the middle of your video. So if it's under 8 minutes, they can put an ad before and at the end if you care about this sort of stuff. After 8 minutes, now you can have an ad at the beginning, the end, and somewhere in the middle. So a lot of people are like, well, you got to make your videos over 8 minutes. But you're not going to get any ads if people aren't watching it because you stretched your video somehow to make it 10 minutes. Nobody cares except for that first 1 minute. So if they're only watching one, YouTube is not going to push it out to more people. So you're not gonna get the extra ad views anyway.
Can we go back to what you said about, you know, like and subscribe? Like if your thumbs up, it doesn't matter anymore. So Duracell can like not give us guilt. 18 people watching, 2 thumbs up. I'm like, okay, exit.
Yeah.
So Duracell, you got it?
Yeah, it's not really a thing anymore. And you notice they removed the thumbs down just
Yeah.
because people got
who
offended or
cares?
whatever.
Yeah.
But whenever in doing that, they announced like it's not a thing for us anyway. It's such a minute indicator that your videos anything anyway. So it's really they just care. We want the people to stay on YouTube because we want them to watch ads, right? That's their business. So you got to keep to be successful and them to promote your stuff. They're like, I'm going to promote his stuff because people stay on YouTube a long time and they see more ads. That's literally their business.
YouTube Premium all the way. No ads. Yeah. And I watch it from the start to the end, all your videos, and I let it play in the background while I work, just because I know.
Every one of my videos from now on, every hand is going to be its own video. Part
Except
1,
there you
part
go,
2,
yeah.
part 2.
That's Vince,
But
right?
from
So-
a viewer's point of view, for Wayland's, I typically get the suggestion feed. I don't go to the channels, so I get sometimes repeats. On Wayland's, it's sometimes hard to say, have I seen this one before? Because
They're all the
It's
same
the same
name.
they all look
name.
the same.
With a
bunch of dollar
and
signs?
even his titles sometimes are all very similar.
Yeah, but if you like it, it'll stay
But the
on.
thing
I would
about-
prefer a different
The thing about
thumbnail
Wayland's
each
video,
time.
Wayland's videos and Jeremy's videos to some degree too, they have this mystery to them. Like,
Yeah.
here's this way to play, it's magical and it's awesome, and then they start rolling, you're like, well, is he gonna actually make money with this thing? And then you stick around to the end, and there's this, that's the hook.
Well, let me
It's a hook, right? Is that
let me
the
talk
thing?
about titles for a second. Let me tell you what you should do with titles and what you shouldn't do. So, your title. Well, let me start with what is your video. What it is not a good way to title it. For instance, the 410 Dark Ladder Hybrid. That is not a good title. because besides you and your 20 followers, doesn't know what a 410 dark ladder hybrid is. So what it is not a good title. What it does is not a good title. Like to describe how you would do something would not be a good title. The best way to title is, why does it matter? So a lot of you can call them clickbait or whatever, but how can you win such an amount of money? How do you avoid this? How do you roll longer? That matters. That gives a person a reason to watch, because it's letting them know, why does this video matter to me? Not what it is, the 410 hybrid, it's no good, but why does the 410 hybrid matter? Well, it's going to let me play all day with little risk, or it's going to make me a lot of money with a big chance, or whatever. So why it matters is a key to titles. And then in that, the mystery is a big part of it, is creating like an information gap or curiosity, because people will click on it going, okay, what will be the outcome of this? I've done a lot of titles like craps players should never do this. Do what, right? So you got to click on it and find out. So it creates that information gap that you're not sure about, or that curiosity. So those are a couple of things that I have to say about titles.
What about searchable tags? Joe from Craps Master is asking about searchable tags.
They don't matter anymore.
They used to.
Yeah. I mean, you can do them. YouTube doesn't care for them anymore. They have such AI bots that, I mean, if you guys notice, they immediately start closed captioning your videos once they're up and that sort of thing. They know everything in your video. They pull all the tags themselves, and they know what your video is about before you ended up finishing uploading, right? So it used to be a thing you had to help their computers along. Now they know more about your video than you do.
What about lives? How does that impact a growing channel?
Yeah.
If you have lives that are like 2-3 hours long and lots of them?
That's a good question. I mean, there are complete channels that do just lives,
Yeah.
and that's what they based on. The one thing I do know about lives is they bring immediate attention, because when you open up YouTube, lives are always right up to the top. You see the little red dot, or you see that this channel is live. So whoever's channel, press by one, no matter how many channels are bigger than him, once he's live, whoop, right to the top, right? So as far as numbers and replay, it usually doesn't do that well, but it does have an immediate effect of, when someone opens up YouTube, you get risen to the top of the pile. So if you can interest them, if they like you, you can convert them as a subscriber or get them to watch your other content. You know, that's a whole thing. But you do get that quick benefit of being right at the top because that person's live. They do bring you to the top just because you were live.
That's literally how I found you. I had no idea who you were. Or Jeff, I'm like, who are these people?
Yeah.
Basic equipment for me, if it's not good sound or picture, you don't even give them a minute and a half.
I agree.
Okay, so quality. It does play a little bit of a factor into it, right? So I have expensive equipment. Can you compete with just your phone? I say you can. I would say that audio is probably, I actually say audio is more important than video.
Yep.
So if they can hear you clearly and it's not staticky and the microphone's not way over there and you can barely hear them and it's echoey, I would get a microphone before I would buy or upgrade any camera, because people can forgive, like, if it's not that great of a picture or whatever, but the sound is a big issue with people. But along with that, I would say you can use your phone, but or a phone or whatever, a camera, but don't be lazy with it. Make it the best you can do with what you have at the time. So what I mean by that is, maybe it's not the greatest camera up here. Don't have it crooked. Don't have junk in the way. Have it clean. Have it straightened. Do the best you can do with it. Yeah, I would just say, like, put some effort into the equipment that you do have, because you can always make little adjustments and improvements to, and that just comes down with spending the time to making, oh, well, I have this weird rig that's taped up and whatever. That's fine. Just, you know, however you want your angle or whatever, tape it up really well so it's not whatever. Just do the best with what you have. You can make quality out of it. Just a lot of it I see on YouTube is just kind of people being lazy, not putting in the effort to make the best of what they have. Not cleaning up, not, I don't know, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but besides, you know, don't have it crooked and pointed and you just see a piece of this or whatever, just put in the effort.
One thing I did on that note, Jeremy, you'll laugh at this.
Okay.
My camera at home is not straight down. I put it off to the side and angled in, because if it's that side angled in, you can't see the top of my head.
Okay.
When I bend over, I found that was a thing that was bugging me.
Okay.
Because it was a great clear picture, but you can see every time I bend over to deal, it's me. And nobody wants, and that's why you wear a hat.
That's where I wear a
You wear
hat. Yeah.
Because but I angled my camera.
And sometimes I wear my hat backwards because a lot of people, I switched I had a certain zoom lens, and the bill of my hat covered everything when I leaned over a little bit. So I do this, and then I got a new camera that was still okay, just because of how the focal length of it is. But yeah, you could adjust, just work with what you have. But quality is something you always want to be thinking about and always improving if you can. You know, obviously you don't have money, you have your job, you want to save up or whatever, but you can do amazing things, especially with phones nowadays. Add some light, and audio is probably more important than anything as far as quality.
Brian from Hawaii Crap Shooter says, what's your opinion on shorts? Will you be doing shorts, or you prefer to do what you've been doing?
Shorts is kind of like YouTube Live. Right now, YouTube is putting a huge emphasis on it. Because they're trying to compete. They're a business. They got to compete with Instagram and TikTok, and I don't know anything else that's out there. So you guys are probably, if you've seen them, aware of these TikToks or not TikToks, YouTube Shorts. They have huge viewership numbers, right? Even you might see some small craps channels putting out things, and they get huge numbers. So if you want to take advantage of that, make some shorts. Right now, they don't have ad revenue, so you can't make money off of shorts. In February, they're going to start to figure out how they're going to do that. They're going to start paying people for shorts, but they are a little bit deceiving numbers. So I forget what the number is. To get a view on YouTube, I think it's 15 seconds. I don't remember the number, but someone has to watch it 15 seconds. They have to be committed a little bit to count as a view. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, as soon as you swipe past it, immediately it's a view. So are people watching it? I don't know, maybe not. They're swiping through, right? But as soon as it goes swipe, view, view, view. Whereas YouTube, you have to be committed. You have to be involved in at least 15 seconds. So the numbers are a little inflated, but again, YouTube's kind of pushing it. So if you want to get to the top of an area, it might be something to take advantage of right now. I don't know the long game on it. They're trying to figure out how to separate it to where, like, I personally don't do shorts literally because I don't like how I have a 16:9 regular video, and then next to it, you know, I go to someone's channel, I see regular videos, and I see this tall, skinny thing. It just bugs me. That's the only reason I don't do it. I think if I did it, they would probably bring in these big numbers. The key is, do those people subscribe, and will they watch your other content? But I don't know how that's going to pan out long term, but I think it is something you could take advantage of now, again, because it's like a live. It just pushes you to the top because YouTube is pushing it.
I think shorts are hard to think of things to do. Like TikTokers and, like, you know, the political stuff or the comedians. It's like it's a joke. It's a. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If it's a craps
interesting.
channel, what do you got? 30 seconds on a short? I don't know. What,
Vince
60 seconds. Okay.
Vince is doing a number of shorts where he just talks real quickly about, you know, gives a strategy in just, you know, the 30 seconds or whatever.
I mean,
I've seen those.
Strategy 30 YouTube won't recommend it beyond the first 2 days. It might get 10,000 views and then stop.
Yeah.
Not one view after that.
There's one guy who does a lot of crap shorts, and he's just screaming all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he's getting 1 million views, and I'm like, I got nothing out of that, but this guy just going blubbery crazy. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. That's not me, obviously. You know, so-
well, I mean, it goes back to what do you want to be known for? What is your channel about? Who do you
Yeah.
want to attract? So, yeah, right now is it may or may, I don't know. I have to see they're short all these massive views, how it's converting to subscribers, and then are they watching the long form content? I don't know the answer to that because I don't do shorts, but I do know that YouTube is pushing it, so it is something you could probably take advantage of.
Here's a tough question that seems to be out right now. What's your feeling on sharing, or Mike at On Point says stealing somebody else's strategy? And do you think it's good to have everybody like Waylon's one that he did, and everybody that had a channel did that within a week? So what thoughts, process on that? That's for Mike.
One, this game has been around forever, and I will challenge anyone who says they've invented a strategy. So, how many bets are there? How many different ways are there? I don't know. Probably every strategy is a repackaged, slight variation of a strategy that's been done for 50 years. So, to me, I don't name anything myself. People submit, and I'll name it whatever they want to name it. They've probably stolen their variations, but so I don't know that you could steal it because I don't know that there's anyone creating anything original. You might think you are, but a slight variation, I don't know. The game's the game, so I would be careful of trying to claim something. Obviously, you can name it if you want. If you haven't seen it before, that's fine. But yeah, that would be my first challenge is, I'm not saying that you're arrogant that think that you've created something, but it's a fine line, right? So everyone, you variation on a car, and then you name it something else, right? But it's still a car, so it's that's a tough question. But I wouldn't really get on someone for stealing a strategy.
What about the second part of that question when they say, but everybody that had a channel put out the one just about after Waylon did that? What do you think that dilutes everything? Do you think that creates?
I think that goes back.
Issues?
I think that goes back to community versus growth. The perhaps community, small knit group might be interested in seeing your different takes on this particular strategy, right? So it would be fine in that case. Are you going to grow? Are you going to bring in outsiders? Because and especially if your title's like testing Waylon's one or whatever it is, no. I mean, it depends on what your goal is. Is it a video for your community because you want to put it out and show your take on it, or just test it out? Sure, that's fine. Don't expect to grow with it. That's just for your community. So that would be a community video.
But I would actually say that it could help you grow, because I've got a smaller, I got 680 some odd followers. But if I put something out where I'm testing something you did or Waylon did, well then, people, even though they're part of the larger community, they're not part of my community. Yeah.
It depends where you're at. So, right. So you're attracting, I don't know what the craps community size it is. Let's say, so CEG's a bigger channel, but they're all gaming, right? So mine's a dedicated craps channel at, I don't know, 80,000 subscribers or something, maybe 20,000 regular views a video. So maybe that's the size of the craps community, right? It's 20,000. So if you might be growing into that 20,000, that part of that community, but you're going to cap out, right, until you do something original, right? So, and maybe that's great for you,
yeah,
right?
I'm about to say, I don't mind.
Right, but
growth is growth right now. And then
correct.
as I get bigger, then do cool things and whatnot. But for me, it does help when I do a thing where I'm testing one of Waylon's. one of why crap shooters, you know.
So,
plans.
my challenge to you would be, how long have you been doing it? If you're at 600, and you've been trickling in a couple here and there from doing a video on a bigger channel, is it really helping you? So I don't know how long it took you to get to 600, but you could be at 2,000 right now. I don't know. But what I'm saying is it really helping you grow? I don't have the answer for that, but if it is, I think it's probably pretty minimal of not stealing from other people's communities, but because, you know, there's hardcore, I would say there's the hardcore fan who's going to watch every single one, and as soon as there's a new channel out, he's going to watch them too. But they're pretty finite, and I think that finite number is a little under 1,000 because I've seen so many channels that are stuck at that number, you know, 500 to 800, and I think they're attracting those hardcore people, and so they're in that number.
Same bubble.
Yeah, same bubble. Those same 500 to 800 people are watching
That
everything
is true,
because they'll
'cause
watch
you do
anything.
see the same people making the same, you know,
Same
making the
comments. Those are the hardcores. They love this game more than anything else, and they'll watch whoever puts it out. But you gotta at some point get beyond those super
All right, I'm doing
hardcore
sock
guys.
puppets from now on.
Well, I experimented with elf puppets, and it did not work. But
Yeah, the sock
Just real
puppet.
quick, we got Charlie's donated a couple of $10 super chats.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thanks, Charlie.
There.
Jeremy, you brought up many times about community and looking for new viewers, new people. So how do you balance that? Because on any of our channels, like mine's pretty small, I got 300 and some viewers or subscribers, but I'm very, very happy and appreciative of those subscribers. So should I concentrate more on making videos that would cater to my subscribers, or
goes back to your goal. What do you want it to be? What do you want your channel to be? We are all appreciative. My numbers are ridiculous. I can't even comprehend them.
Right.
But I try to comment or answer everyone's comment because I'm so appreciative, right? But my goal is to continue to grow because I'm making this my profession, right? So I'm going to lean more towards how to win this much, this sort of thing. I do less and less things that would be very specific, interesting in my community. You notice that I don't participate in a lot of your guys' challenges, right?
right?
It's because, to be frank, no one cares about those challenges outside of our bubble. You know, the people that tuned in, these people care about those challenges. They want to see us interact. But beyond that, those people don't care, right? So I stay away from that stuff, and I'm trying to grow. That's my goal because I'm a YouTuber.
Right.
You want to build a super strong friendship community, and you're happy with 500. That's your goal. Keep doing the same thing, right? But if you want something different, you got to do something different.
So do you think a smaller channel could take on that type of bigger growth earlier on by creating their own niche and sticking to it? Whatever their number,
Rephrase
that
your
might be
question.
different. So one that's a smaller group right now that maybe has already the connection of a lot of the main people, but they identify their niche that's clearly different from others.
Right.
You think that that's the clearer path to more steady growth?
Okay, it's tough, right? Because I don't have a better channel than anyone else's. I think there are certain channels that do things better than me, and they do I had an advantage because I was early, right? At the time, there were very few channels, so it is. I will admit, and will say, it is going to be a lot harder for you new channels to do what I did, just because I was one of the few channels that, 5-6 years ago. So you guys it's going to be a lot tougher to grow outside of that bubble of your close-knit thing. But to do that, you do have to somehow make yourself different than the other channels. So, good example, he's decided to go with the cruising angle, right? No one else is doing not much or doing that, right? So at some point, I think he's going to have a decision: do I become a cruise channel? Because there are millions of cruisers, and there are tens of thousands of dice players. So he's playing that juggling game. He might have a decision one day. I don't know
I'm
what that
staying
is.
committed to craps and cruising.
So
The genius of and, not
yeah,
or.
and but you do have to kind of carve out your niche. But how small does your niche become, right? If you make your niche so small, like we are just, well, I mean that's a good example of cruising and craps. Well, you're bringing two niches together, which is good, but maybe there's more land-based craps players than there are cruise-based. So it's tough because you got to be niche to be different from the other channels. But yeah, I mean, some of these things I don't have answers for.
So what do you think about the community engaging in like craps? A lot of people like to play along. With us while they're tossing, and it's the same group of people, but it is growing. And to Chuck's point, he hasn't even advertised. There's a lot of people that watch Casino Quest that haven't even.
So I'm
seen any of
probably
it.
actually going to do it for fun, because I've seen other people do it. It's amazing fun, right?
Yeah.
Getting the audience involved. But it's going to be those hardcore audience. It's a community video. It's not going to help me grow. Outsiders, casual gamblers, people who like slots, who might be tempted about craps, they're not going to watch that. They don't care. So me, I'll dabble in it because I want to provide for my community, and those people who participate, it will be fun as hell, right? But I know it ain't going to help my channel. If so again, community, it's a community video. It's not a growth video. So that's what I would say about craps.
I was gonna say, yeah, there might be a time where I have to choose, but I think it goes back to, at least for me, it goes back to the why. And you were talking about that, because why craps and cruising? I never thought I would be able to go on a cruise, because I feel like I don't make the kind of money that I would be a cruising person. And once I realized this hack, if you would, this life hack, I thought, how can I share this with others that aren't as fortunate as, or in the same place that I was, where I couldn't afford to just go on a cruise, Right. And so I thought, well, I can help people doing that. So it was something that I can offer to give back to the community. So I think, for the community, I want to give back and, hey, try it out. But for new viewers, maybe there's people that want to go on a cruise but never could. So it is kind of that niche, and maybe it is merging. But I mean, that's why.
But again, that's your why.
Right.
Yeah. Your why is because you want to help share people this thing that you've been able to, cruise, right, for free, basically. How big is that audience? We don't know, right? It's yet to be seen. So, how big is John's audience of really diving into the analytics of particular strategy, whatever? I don't know. That's yet to be seen. We all hit a cap at some point of what that is. Like, so I started a poker channel, right? I feel like I'm hitting a cap on craps. To be honest with you, there's nothing wrong with it, but I want to reach more people. I'm going to dive into an area that is 100 times the size of the craps audience. Just on past data, that I think it's 100 times the size, right? So, yeah. Can I add something about consistency?
Please.
I put out my videos Monday at 2:22.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very
Interesting.
Well, I can tell you why I do it. Because you get defaults and it's rounded. 2 o'clock, 2:15, 2:30, right? So was there a bazillion YouTubers? They all schedule their videos to come out at 2 o'clock, 2:15, 2 whatever. So that notification, I don't know. YouTube, they're willy-nilly with their notifications now, right? So who knows if you get them or not. You click the bell, you still may not get them. But I can tell you, if your video is competing with a million other videos that came out at 2 and the notifications go out, I don't know. But if I'm at 2:22, there's a good chance 2 minutes later I might have slipped in there, right, with the notification. that's just a little hack that I've found.
Oh,
Pretty
I like
cool,
that.
actually.
I like that one.
I do. I like
Just
that.
don't do it at 222, everyone.
Yeah, you can. You're going to be competing with me on that one.
223 is mine.
Consistency. What I would say is, whatever it is, once a week, every 2 weeks. I don't know about daily, so let me tell you personally about daily, but I would say don't take a month off. You just can't do it with YouTube. It's like they just throw you away, and then you got to almost start over. So if you're on a month-long vacation or whatever, make a couple videos and don't put them out right away, or if you like to put out every day, just schedule them out over that month that you're gone, because YouTube hates when you just take long breaks off. For me personally, I've found that 1 to 2 videos a week works for me. I've experimented with times where I did 5 or 6 in a week for months at a time, and I found that they capped on their views because they kind of competed with each other. My audience, what we talked about, is 99% 50 to 60, whatever it is, 50 to 65-year-old men, whatever. What do we know about them? They're working. They don't have time, and they got other things going on, right? So I don't put out videos on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Why? Because there's no views. They're mowing their lawn, they're watching football, they got stuff going on. Right. They can find time, apparently they can find time to watch my video once, maybe twice a week. When I was doing daily, they don't got time for that. I love the guy. I love Procrast. I can't watch him daily. Damn it. I'm sorry. Right? So if you're doing a daily thing, in our niche or your demographic, you got to be careful with that. I mean, but he's doing a different thing, right? He's really cultivating his community. It could be daily is community, right? So he's getting community. But for the regular viewer, they don't got time for that. They got stuff going on in their lives, right? So there is a such thing as overloading.
The daily thing is not about craps anymore. I mean, I play craps in it.
Yeah,
it's really a gathering place for everybody. You watch my chat, and not one bit of it's about craps.
Right,
It's
exactly.
It's all over the place.
It's turned a community.
It's the place to come and gather while John's failing.
And if John takes a day off, we feel weird, man. We have to have our coffee and crabs.
There's a void when John's not there.
Thursday morning. It's like The Walking Dead. It's not about the zombies. I discovered my morning show.
Responding
That's the thing.
to Jeremy's comment about the taking time off, y'all, as many of y'all may know, I moved to Mexico for 6 months. When I moved to Mexico for 6 months, I could not do videos until it took like 4 months off before I was able to build a table down there. And I was having hundreds of views on every video. I started doing videos again. I was having 10 people, and it's taken almost a year of doing videos and being back in, and now I'm getting back up to like the 70, 80 range.
Yeah,
so that taking time off
it's all robots. So these robots go, I don't know, this guy quit. I was going to say something else, but he's gone. The channel, you know what I mean?
Thank you, Mr. Sensitive. Thank you, Mr. Sensitive.
I know, that was so terrible.
Wow.
I did say that. I visited my father-in-law dealing with Craftsbury Cure, and I think we were saying our last goodbyes, but so I am trying to be a little sensitive there.
Gabby, unsubscribe to
but that, in terms of their AI robots, if you take an extended amount of time off, that's what they consider you. You're done. You know what I mean? And when you come back, we'll see. We'll see how you do. We'll start out with 10 viewers, and if they catch on, maybe we'll push it out to 20. But you're starting over.
Jeremy, I have a question about what about the at the end of the video, watch this next video. Do you have those, and do you find that they work?
It's a tough one. Again, if you can get someone to watch, and then I don't use it that much because the numbers were like 1%, 2%. There is data that says, I forget what it's called, but it's when they watch, and then you could add an end card where a video pops up and they click on the next one. For YouTube, that's amazing. If you could actually get people to watch it and then click that end card and move on to the next video, that's called a YouTube session. moving from one video to another, that would be amazing. I couldn't pull it off, so now I've just replaced it with the people that support me in my club.
Yeah.
It's just like an end credit thing. Nobody's getting into it. I mean, I'm guessing it's hard enough to get, okay, so your video's here, it takes a dip, and then you catch on. Hopefully a good video is 50%, and then at the end, whoo, right? So another thing, if you can do, and I'm not good at this, don't drag out your video and don't let people know that you're wrapping up, right? Because as soon as you say, well, we're gonna wrap up here in a little bit, all right, there's nothing else valuable in this video, they're gone. But if you can keep it good until the end, and then you say, or even better would be, right at the end you would say, but if you want to find out more about this, click on or watch this video to get them to that next video.
So you're saying like it's time for me to go to work now? It's
Yeah.
not a good way to have my videos?
Right. So I got to leave for work in 10 minutes. Okay. Well, then I'm out too.
Yeah,
right.
you're
So
essentially coming.
it's very hard to get someone to get to the end of the video. So I don't have a good answer for it. But YouTube wants you to try to get them to the end to click a video and go to the next one. But it's very difficult. If you look at your view graphs, any video, even the best ones, I mean, they dip out, and as soon as there's any indication that the video is ending is when they're going to dip.
I found a trick that helps me with the initial watch time. I had this big, for a while there, my videos would have like 80% or 70% drop off right in the first 30 seconds. Right? You've all seen that? And that's because you're not talking right away. And I guess now they play the video as you're scrolling in your phone. Yeah. And so if you come out and you're not talking right away about something cool, they scroll right past like Instagram.
Okay, well, I could talk a little bit about that. I do intro video. I let people know what my video is going to be. So when they click on it, you've got 10, 20 seconds to let them know what the video is. So it's nice to interject your personality and talk about your day and personally relate to someone. Do that throughout the video, sprinkle it in, but you got 10 to 20 seconds to convince them why they should continue watching. So I try to let people know, hey, in today's video, we're gonna teach you how to win $5 million, right? And then, okay, pique their curiosity to try and keep them going. But if I say, today, after I get done taking my daughter to volleyball, I'm gonna think about some things, and you're kind of rambling on a little bit, they're out, right? They're gone. People's time are valuable.
Yeah.
Respect, that's probably a big tip. Respect people's time. Once you have built that community, there are people that are going to want to do coffee and craps and chat with you. But again, going back to growth, they kind of, all these things intermingle. If you want people to be interested in your channel, get to the freaking point, whatever it is.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
Can you change the name of your YouTube
You can.
channel?
I just recently did it. It's kind of difficult, but it can be done. So it's basically like you create a new channel and move all your content to it. I don't know, they just recently changed, they don't have URLs for channels, everything changed to YouTube handles. So I don't know if that's a little different, but if you email me,
Okay.
I can probably try to help you through that.
What was the question?
Can you change the name of your YouTube channel?
Got it.
Because there's two different things. You can change your name. They'll let you change it ever so often of what you're called, right? Because if you look, there's like 30 color up channels that people have named their channel color up, but YouTube doesn't consider them color up except for on the back end, right? I'm YouTube/color up. So whatever your channel is, I forget what the number is. You have to attain a certain amount where they go, okay, he's legitimately this, right? It's almost like being verified or whatever, but not quite verified. But so that's why there's like the front end of your name, which could be anything. We could all change our names to Pro Craps, but the back end of it is what you have to actually change.
This is great stuff.
This is awesome. Yeah.
We done? I guess it's 5, so we're
Yeah,
done.
we're there.
Of
So
course,
Any
Jeremy's made me
questions?
feel really bad about my channel and some things.
did. You
So
gotta give me
that's
an
in
example.
addition to his little death
Right.
thing, I've got to change up my stuff. So I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, I mean, hopefully, yeah. Just
it's good. It's good.
take
comments.
it. I mean, it depends on what your goal is. Take things to heart or don't. I mean, if you're happy with where you're at, keep. You know, what's the famous saying? If you're content with where you're at, keep doing the same things. If you want something to change, you got to do something different.
No, I like
yeah.
it. It's great information.
Well, and I like what you said about it's not what it is, but it's why it is.
Right.
Yeah, with the
the
title
why
and
is a big
stuff.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that can help us too, finding out why. Because if you know why you're doing your channel, I think that will actually attract more community and more viewers if they know why you're doing what you're doing as well.
So in the old days in YouTube, you could trick, and it was all about robots where people would trick or tags or title things, whatever. But YouTube is people. Viewers are real people. So you got to give people the why of things. It's just natural. Like,
why would they subscribe?
Why am I invested? Why am I interested in this person? Why do I want? How will it benefit my life? Those type of things is what they're looking for. YouTube is still run by robots, but now the robots are so smart that they know what are the keys to drill into people's emotions. Because that's kind of, you're drawing on people's emotions when your titles are the why behind your video, not the what it is. It's the why should they watch it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Jeremy, I have one final question for you, if you don't mind.
Yep.
This is from Charlie at Drunk Guy Explains. Jeremy, what are 3 things you would want to improve on when looking at the craps community as a whole?
It's tough because I don't know everyone's goals in their channels. So some people's goals are just straight on pure community. If it trickles in the community, that's fine. But I just love these 300 people that I get to talk to a couple times a week. So I don't know everyone's goal, but oh man, that's a tough question. One of the things I would say is I wish more of the YouTubers out there, again, I'm not equipment bashing or anything, I'm saying with the equipment that you have, make it, do excellence with it. Like I said, don't have a mess, don't have it hanging crooked or whatever, those like little things that you can take care of. I see so many channels that are just not bothering. They're just like, I'll click it on for today, let's try to figure something out, and whatever, and then post. And that's okay, but yeah, I don't know what was the question one more time?
He's asking
of 3 things that
you would look to improve, 3 things you'd want to improve on.
Yeah, I guess
looking at our community.
I guess I wish more people would individually take stock in what they're doing and try to improve themselves. If everyone worked on themselves, it would be better. But as far as the community, I think it's really quite amazing that all the channels seem to be so friendly with each other. We could do events like this that you put together, and people from all over the country are coming together. So, like, the community aspect of it is freaking amazing. Like, I don't see this in other, like, niches and stuff that because I started a poker channel, I'm watching that. I don't see that. They're all like...
There's very little competition with us. I think as a whole, we're all pretty cool.
So, and part of that is, I always say, a rising tide floats all boats. So, I don't know if anyone's heard that term, but as we all grow together, I mean, it's good for... But again, we're in a capped, limited audience. So how big can we grow? I don't know. But I would say that as a whole, all these craps channels are doing really good at community. What they could do better with, it's just hard to say because it depends on their goal. I'm not going to bash this guy because I don't know his goal. His goal is just to hang out with his buddies and just share his thing, and that's all he wants to do. After work, he's burnt out. He just wants to click on his camera and practice rolling because he's practicing anyway. Why not turn on the camera? So I wouldn't say that he needs to improve in any way. I would say so every channel is individual, so it's hard to say that, hey, we need to do these couple things better, because everyone is still an individual and they have different goals, and I don't know those goals, and it's perfectly fine for that guy to do that. So, I don't know. I don't have an answer beyond that.
Okay.
good stuff.
It's great stuff. Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Are we here?
We're here.
Are we here doing?